What is up, guys? We are back with another video, and today is not a Tibia video. Today is a video focused on a game you might have seen in the past on my channel, which is Ethereal Echoes of Yore, a game I'm super excited about. It's a old school MMORPG, we'll call it. The way I can best describe it is if Tibia, old school RuneScape, had a love child, and like WoW kind of reached in a hand to help out during the process, like just did very little but was a part of it, with RuneScape 3 graphics is my best way to describe it. It just kind of gives you that nostalgic feeling of those old school MMORPGs with a new school feel, kind of your WoW, a bit more WoW style combat, but RuneScape 3 graphics. I'll leave it at that. We'll watch the video and give you guys a better explanation. The reason why I'm doing this video today is because, as you can see on the screen, SteamFest is happening today from 10 a.m. Pacific until February 13th. I don't know when it closes on that day. This is something I've never heard of before, but it is kind of an event that Steam puts on for mostly, I want to say, indie developers or indie games. So the best way to describe it, as the description says, 7 days, hundreds of demos, oodles of live streams. So I've never seen this before, and I never really knew what it was. So I just clicked on the previous one, which was one of these. I clicked on one of these. Okay, and it brought me here. So what it is just kind of a showcase, a development showcase or a gameplay showcase for all these games, and they're all free to play during this period of time. Whereas some of these games would have been in alpha or beta testing where you needed a key or stress testing or whatever, but now they've applied and they got selected to be the hundreds of games that are showcased during this week-long event. Oh wow, there's a lot of games. So this is a past event. This isn't the one that's currently on because it hasn't started yet. I didn't do the conversion from Pacific time to now. So I think it's going to start in like an hour or two, but I could be completely wrong. So yeah, this is the last one. Games I haven't really seen before. I never looked at this one, so and now they obviously, you can see they cost money, but the games that are currently being showcased this week long are free. So we will go into Ethyrial, which I'm going to watch the video or show you clips of the video, is actually called, or was originally called, The Blocky Ages. So this is when they first started the project. This was the project's name, the game's name. But now it's changed to Ethereal Echoes of Yore. And I'll just show you a few parts of this video. Not the whole thing. It's 15 minutes, and I don't just want to sit here for 15 minutes and watch the video. I mean, you guys can do that. I'll leave a link in the description. But we'll watch it, get a kind of a better idea what the game's all about, and then we will go from there. So, without further ado, Ethereal Echoes of Yore. And I think I might have to mute some sections because I can only assume that some of the music is copyright. So, here we go.
Hello, and welcome to this introduction of our indie MMORPG called The Blocky Ages. In this video, I will try to cover what our game is about and the planned features that we have for it. In short, The Blocky Ages is an MMORPG inspired by old school games like Tibia and RuneScape. We aim for a game with a very high risk reward and harsh death penalties. The increased risk reward will shine through all of the features that we implement and will be what really defines our game. The Blocky Ages is a story-driven game with some sandbox features. We do love a good story, and we want to take the player through an adventurous main storyline with a limitless number of side stories to discover. We have quite a lot of in-house experience writing for role-playing, and now we want to take these stories and tell them through our game. It will be filled with everything from challenging puzzles to demanding bosses and quests. You start off in a world called Yore. At first, we will only have one starting area, but we want you to choose where you want to start in the future. You will progress through a non-linear main storyline. It's an open world where you can go anywhere you'd like, given that you can handle the threats you encounter there. The story will have many different paths to choose from and take you on various quests depending on your choices.
Combat's not something I really wanted to focus on. I do like the combat style because it's kind of like, again, old school, slightly slower paced. You're not pounding 9 to 15 hotkeys repeatedly, but it is still, cooldown based, global cooldown, ability cooldown. But it's not nearly as hectic and chaotic as like your current MMORPGs or your action RPGs, like or action combat based, like your Black Desert Onlines, your WoWs, um, just those newer games where there's just a pile of hotkeys. It's simplified, like the old school, the way it was before. But what else I want to focus on was player versus player. I haven't really touched on too, and I've put in like 20 or 30 hours of gameplay, and like I've enjoyed it so much so far, just during the testing period. Economy. The economy is something that is very unique and super cool. So I'll switch to that. Hopefully, there's no music.
Many games nowadays talk a lot about a fully player-driven economy. That sounds great and all and would be an excellent feature. But we talked about this early in the development as well. But we need to be somewhat realistic and clever here. A big problem with a player-driven economy is that it relies on a huge player base. Without a lot of players, it will ruin the experience for those who play. We need to realize that we are a small indie game company with sort of a niche game. We hope for many players to join, but nothing guarantees that, and we want the experience to be great either way. Oh, I'm sorry for the rooster in the background of the audio. I didn't hear him until I listened to all the recordings, so
I never
sorry
heard this
about
part
that.
before. Oh, there he is. That's
Well,
hilarious.
that rooster is no longer a problem. So we have a mix of player and AI driven economy. NPCs do trade a lot of materials and
Still
equipment,
hear him.
though they do use a stock system, so they can run out. The stock is slowly replenished over time, or when players sell those specific items back to the traders.
So that's something I wanted to stop on because I think that is such a neat idea. So I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but to simplify a simple system. NPCs have stock. You buy it all, it's out of that item, but it will slowly come back over time, which I don't know if that's hours, days, whatever. But if another player went and sold back, if they're out of apples, and then a player sold them 10 apples, that NPC now has access to resell 10 more apples. So it's kind of, it like limits you a bit, and makes you actually have to really plan when you want to grind. If you need like crafting material or cloth or food, you have to really plan it and do it properly, which I think is, most games nowadays don't have this at all. It's not something, I don't think I've played a game that's been, the NPCs have been player driven like at all. And I also think he later on goes to say that prices can reflect this. I don't know how that's going to be written into the code, but I think prices will fluctuate based on supply and demand. So I think that's just something that's super interesting and a very cool concept. But that's enough for economy. I think crafting, yeah, is the next one we want to check out, which is all we'll need to check out. Let's go to crafting. That was only 20 more seconds.
This means that when we have a large, stable player base on a server, the economy will rely on those players to replenish or sell equipment and materials, since the traders will most likely be out of stock. But during the early days, where the player base most likely will be smaller, there will still be materials and equipment available to buy from traders.
Okay, maybe I made that up about the the fluctuating prices, but I thought that was in the video, but maybe it was in the Discord, or maybe I just created, just crafted out of my head. Seen crafted, said it. All right, so the crafting mechanic is something I love, because I love grinding a skill like crafting, mining, wood cutting, fire making, cooking. Again, old school RuneScape vibes. But the crafting was super fun, and something when we played the alpha testing that I actually focused on. Like I leveled a bit, did a few bosses, which was a lot of fun, but the crafting was super cool, and I really enjoyed it because you just got to create better weapons. If you put in the time crafting, did some questing, got your materials, you could create better weapons than you could buy at that time, which I think makes sense. If you're willing to grind to get the skill level, you should be able to reap some kind of benefits outside of a money or a monetary benefit.
An MMORPG is not complete without a crafting system, and we have worked hard to create something a little bit unique. I'm not talking about revolutionary or anything, but we ended up with sort of a mix between Minecraft and a classical crafting system. You can craft everything right off the bat, assuming you know the suitable materials and the pattern for the object that you want to compose. You place materials in a customizable grid and in a specific order, and then based on your crafting skills, you either succeed or you don't. If you fail, all the materials used will be destroyed. You will be able to use different crafting stations to increase your workspace and build bigger and better stuff. You can also find and trade what we call blueprints. Blueprints can be used during crafting and will increase the chance of success significantly. It will also show you what materials and in what pattern you should place those materials.
Alright, so that is all I'm going to show you of this video, the overview, first look. And this video is over a year old, so what will tell me? Yeah, April 2021. Yeah, so it's almost 2 years old. So a lot has changed since then in terms of graphics for sure, the names. So I don't know if I can bring it up yet. But I will have, videos of this testing that's going on this week. So I just want to, bring it to your attention, show you the game, as well as I'll have the links in the description. It has to get to the game or to download it. I mean, it's on Steam. We have it here. Oh, how did I minimize that? So yeah, Ethyrial's Echoes of Yore on Steam. Download it, and I'm pretty sure you have to make an account. Check out the Discord if you're actually interested. That's where I kind of find all my information, which I asked the question here. None of the music should give you any trouble. So I asked if any of the music is going to give me any demonetization, which they said it shouldn't, so that's awesome. So check out the Discord, check out the website, check out Steam. Definitely looking forward to this game. I'm going to be playing it this week for sure. I'm laying low this week. I might even stream tonight if it's up, because I mean, honestly, this video still looked good to me, but a lot has changed, and they've definitely improved the graphics quality, improved lighting, improved shading, improved textures. Like, it just looks a lot better, and I honestly like the way that looked, and I love how it looks now. So yeah, that is Ethereal Echoes of Yore, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like. If you're new here, click that subscribe button. I appreciate it, and if not, no worries at all. But yeah, so I think I'm going to stream this later. At the very least, I'll have another video up in the next couple days once I put some more time into it and get to dive into this game. That's it for now, guys. We'll talk to you later. Peace.